How is everyone doing today? Now we are back with another video. This one we're going over the Madden loyalty program cards, and I'm going to give you guys some options what I think would be your best picks and your best bets for other players to choose for this one. Um, Number one, as you can see, and again, I'm going to start at 6 and then go to 1. So who you least likely should take, in my opinion, to who I think you should take. Least likely, person I don't think you should take is Ezekiel Elliott. Part of this is I'm a Giants fan, so a little bias against the Cowboys. Um, so this is a card I'm not going to be taking. Um, Mostly though, in actuality, I don't believe this is a great pick. Um, a running back with 83 speed just isn't something that you want to be running out there. This if you want him as your backup running back, sure this isn't a bad idea, but for me, I don't feel like it's the best move to take, um, especially in the beginning of the game, to take a backup running back as one of your elite cards, especially off the jump when you get this. There's going to be a lot of holes in your team, and I feel like backup running back isn't really something you need to focus on. Now we have the second choice that I'd have, or going from the fifth that I would pick. Um, but realistically, every card after that Ezekiel Elliott, I feel is a fine choice and really would be helpful for your team. But as you can see, Zadarius Smith, I feel he's a solid card. Um, he's going to be able to block shit so we can get off the blocks and help in the run game, as well as he's good in the he's got a good power move, so he's going to be able to get to the quarterback decently well, as well as he's got decent speed. So this is a good card. You can't go wrong with any of these rest that I said. But for Zadarius Smith, I just find that a lot of times, um, I'll try and get like one really good pass rusher. Normally they have those in some of the first promos that come out, or even one of the legends, and you can try and go towards that as opposed to using one of your elites on here. But like I said, any of these cards are good options. You can't go wrong with any of them. So this is definitely a good card you can pick. Next is this Akeem Hicks card. This is a card that really is going to just do exactly run blocking, a little bit of power, a little bit of Russian passer, and that's it. Um, it is going to be a good guy you can throw there in the middle of the defensive line and really just kind of hope to break some stuff up. Depending on how abilities are going to be, you might be able to throw a run stopper on him. So this is definitely someone who will be good. He's a big guy, good block shedding, decent power move, and should be able to kind of blow things up in the run game and the middle of the defensive line. So this is definitely a card if you want to go for a DT. Um, this is something that you're definitely going to. It'll help you blow up the run game, especially early on when you're not facing the best offensive lines. But it's something that I would suggest if you want to get something early um, to help with your defensive line. And here we have the next option that I would have for someone you take out of the Madden loyalty program is this Richie Incognito card. This may seem a little bit of a surprise, but if you guys saw my rookie Premier rankings, um, which I'll link down below, this is something that um, that won't be too surprising. Like I mentioned in the other video, I hate spending a lot of coins on on offensive linemen. Like I said, I prefer spending it on more players that you'll kind of see them pop up. Um, so this incognito card is someone who's got decent blocking, should be able to hold its own, especially at the beginning of the game. Um, should be a good starter card to really get you going until you can find a little bit better, slightly more dominant offensive linemen who are really going to be able to establish themselves. But like I said, this is a card that he's Richie Incognito always has a good card, good correlate to start the game. He's got decent pass blocking and run blocking, and this is something that I probably will rank this pick because this, along with the rookie premier offensive lineman, you can kind of start to shape up your offensive line without spending any coins. So this is something that I definitely uh, will lean to now we
help get
have
that
our
offensive
last
line
two
going.
options for the Madden loyalty program. Um, I would say that um, second the second best option that you have is for um, this Marcus Peters card. He's a card who he'll be fine with 84 speed and 85 acceleration. Um, he'll be fast enough to hold his own. The coverage stats aren't really the greatest, which is kind of an issue when you are a defender, when your job is to cover people as a cornerback. Um, but he'll be good. You can get him as a depth cornerback, kind of just throw him towards the end of your bench, so when people get tired, he can sub in for a play or two, and he'll be able to hold his own. So this is a card who he'll be fine for that. He'll be fine as a backup, someone that you don't really have to worry about too much. If they come sub in, you're not terrified because oh my goodness, he's gonna get burnt. This is a card that will be able to hold his own and definitely be able to make some plays for you if they were to. And here is the final choice, my favorite pick, the person who I'll definitely be going with. One of the picks I'll make is this AJ Brown card. The reason why I really like this card is because it is a fast wide receiver. Like I said, this is very close with that Marcus Peters card. Um, I between if you had to pick between them, it's really just a coin flip. They're both very good. Like I said, both they got 84 speed, so um, you won't be having an issue with at cornerback. You're not going to get burnt every time, and at wide receiver, you're not going to run a route, and your cornerback's going to beat you to the end of it, beat you to the ball every time. So these both are good, more depth positions. Um, whether they're wide receiver for or cornerback for. This is someone who definitely will be able to kind of jump in there when the starters are tired, play for a couple of downs, and then they'll get out of the game when the better cards um, are have more energy and ready to go. Um, but like I said, all of these cards are definitely going to be very helpful, especially at the beginning of the game, because of the fact that your team's going to have a lot of holes in it, and you really could take any help that you can. But like I said, I like picking players um, on the lines, um, and some because I know on the lines I can kind of spread them out. Like I said with Richie Incognito, or I like taking depth players because um, this way it's not okay. Well, they're like I found one better player. Now they're useless to me. It's good being able to get value and keep that value with some of the players like the Marcus Peters and AJ Brown. But so those cards that I went over, those are part of the Madden loyalty program. So you get that by if you played Madden Ultimate Team in 19, 20, or 21. If you played in all three, you get three cards out of those six. If you played in two of those, whether it be 1920, 1921, you'll get two. And if you only played one of those years, you'll get three. You get to pick from three of those. Now you can see our two packs you have to choose from if you order from the Dynasty Edition, which is the most expensive version. You get to pick from um, these packs. So if you pick from um, this Tom Brady pack, you'll get both of these first two cards that I'm going to show you. The first card that you'll get is the offensive card, which is this 85 overall Wes Welker card. This is actually a pretty good Wes Welker card compared to what we normally get. He's got good speed with 86 at an 85 overall. It's decent. All the route running is good. So this is definitely a decent card and a good wide receiver that you'll be able to run out there on day one. Uh, Secondly, is this um, Rodney Harrison card, which is another solid card. He's a little bit slower, so he kind of won't be as helpful. But 84 speed, 84 excel with 85 zone coverage is definitely something that you'll be able to rock with on day one. Have no issue with that going forward. So these are from the Tom Brady pack out of the Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. So if you pick Tom Brady, you'll get both of these options. So this is definitely a good start if you want to go that route. So those are your options for the Tom Brady pack. The options for the Patrick Mahomes pack are, I would say, a hell of a lot better. The Patrick Mahomes, you get this 85 overall Randy Moss card with 87 speed. He does not have the route running, but he's got the height, he's got better speed, better athleticism, and it's Randy Moss. So it's definitely a great card to use. If you want to change it up because you feel that you use Randy Moss every year, that's definitely a fine option. And that's definitely a reason why you could um, pick that Tom Brady pack. But then again, this Randy Moss card, 87 speed to start, is something that is going to be very good and very helpful right off the jump. Secondly, out of that Patrick Mahomes pack, um, is the one, the only Deion Sanders. So if that Randy Moss card didn't intrigue you at all, this might do it. Um, Again, at 80, 88 speed, 88 excel, with man and zone of 83 and 84. This is definitely going to be a very good cornerback, one of the best to start the game because he's got that mix of coverage and speed. The only issue is he's not great in press, but as long as you're not playing any bump and run with this guy, he will be able to uh, do a good job of locking down your opponent's best guy. So this is someone I would definitely look for. And this is definitely why I'm going with that Patrick Mahomes pack. Like I said, you get either Wes Welker and Rodney Harrison, or you get this Randy Moss and Deion Sanders, depending on who you pick. Um, my one suggestion would be, though, regardless of kind of who you pick, especially when you get additions like this where you're going to have a lot of packs, open those packs first because you never know. You may pull a certain card that will affect how you want to proceed with these extra cards. So when you know your options for those loyalty programs or this Randy Moss and with the Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady pack, um, open the ones that you could get anything. So if you get any even just gold packs, open those first because once you get that, you can kind of say, okay, you know what, I pulled a good offensive lineman and running back and wide receiver. Now I don't need to go those out of these packs where I know what I'm getting. Um, but most importantly, go pick cards that you're going to have fun with. So whether they're going to be very helpful for your team, all of that stuff. The most important thing is that you're gonna be using these cards. So make sure that you're going to be enjoying them. So if it's card that you have like an attachment to, you're a big Cowboy fan and you love Zeke, or you're a big Packer fan and you love Zadarius Smith. It'll always make the game a little more fun when you pick those players because you get to use the players that you enjoy. But that's all for this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. A like, comment would really go great. Really go a long way with me trying to start this channel up. I appreciate any help you guys can provide, any support you guys have. So peace. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.